Ego death is a concept that has been explored by philosophers and spiritual seekers for centuries. It is often seen as a necessary step on the path towards enlightenment and inner peace. The idea is that by letting go of the ego, the individual is able to tap into a deeper sense of self and connect with something greater than themselves. In essence, the death of the ego is the birth of the soul. One of the most famous works exploring this concept is the Tao Te Ching, an ancient Chinese text attributed to the philosopher Lao Tzu. In it he writes, "He who knows himself is enlightened." This quote speaks to the idea that the ego is a construct of the mind, and that true understanding comes from looking beyond it. Similarly, in the Christian tradition, the Apostle Paul writes in his letter to the Galatians, "I have been crucified with Christ, and I no longer live, but Christ lives in me." This speaks to the idea that in order to truly connect with God, one must surrender their ego and allow the divine to live through them. In Hinduism, the concept of Atman is central to the idea of the death of the ego. Atman is often translated as soul or self, and is seen as the true essence of the individual. By letting go of the ego, one is able to connect with the Atman and ultimately with the divine. So why is the death of the ego so important? For one, it allows us to let go of our attachment to our own desires and needs. This, in turn, allows us to connect more deeply with others and the world around us. It also frees us from the constant striving and grasping that can lead to anxiety and suffering. Ultimately, the death of the ego is about finding salvation. Whether one is seeking spiritual enlightenment or simply a deeper sense of meaning and purpose in life, the death of the ego is a necessary step. By letting go of our pride and asking for forgiveness, we can begin to live more honestly and authentically. As Lao Tzu wrote, "Knowing others is intelligence. Knowing yourself is true wisdom." By letting go of our attachment to the ego and connecting with something greater than ourselves, we can find true peace and salvation. It is a journey that anyone can take, regardless of their past sins or mistakes. The key is to let go of the ego, ask for forgiveness from our Creator, and live with honesty and humility. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and God bless.